Good morning. Hey, my Miss J. How are you? Hi, Miss Kimberly. Hey, K Brown. Hey, Virgo. Virgos are some really chill people. I got some cool Virgos in my life. Shout out to y'all. Hey, Miss Tony. Hey, my Tay Bay. How y'all doing this morning? Good morning, Nika. Hey, Snooky. Yes, you did, Onyx. Thank you. Hey, Miss Simone. Y'all. I said, let me not go live on regular YouTube because once those trolls get to coming in and I get triggered, y'all, it might be a situation. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, Miss Simone. Good morning, Nikki. Good morning, Miss Sharon. Hey, Nita. I said, before I get triggered and get off topic, because y'all know I can get to getting, let me just do this on my channel. So I wanted to have a little chat with Mr. Jeff Baker, who I don't know, everybody just decided to chime in yesterday and the more I thought about it, you guys, yesterday when I first heard it, and I've heard it so much, I'm not going to play it again. So I'm telling y'all now, I don't want to hear his point of view when it comes to Brianna and this situation. I've heard enough. But the more I listen to it, the more I realize I feel like he's done what so many people have done throughout this story is you simply say things for clicks and views. And he said something during that little 4 minute clip. He said, a lot of you might think I'm simping. And you know what, Jeff Baker, a lot of people do because I think that's exactly what you were doing. I don't think that these are your views at all. I think that you wanted the clickbait and you wanted the views and you wanted the 200,000, probably, I think it's at now on Facebook. But I think that's the problem when it comes to social media nowadays. There's people like Jeff Bakers of the world that where they say things simply because they know that the female audience is going to gravitate towards it. So I don't know if I really, really believe you, Jeff. I think that maybe you might have done that just for the women because as a man, I wonder if a man, hey, Miss Myers, hey, Sugar Pop, hey, Miss Judy again, hey, Sweetly Favorite, Peace Be Still. Good morning, Mr. Terry. So, as a man, I wonder if Jeff Baker, if he's ever had a situation where if he's been married or engaged or a situation and the party that he was married or engaged to either took sensual photos of him or he sent it to her, and then this woman in return sent it to a girlfriend and it then ended up on social media. I wonder as a man if Mr. Baker would feel okay with many people, hundreds of people, thousands of people viewing his penis, something that he shared so intimately with someone that he trusted, being his wife or his girlfriend or his fiance. So when I hear him make comments such as that, I wonder if a man, if he would be okay with that as a man that trusted a wife or a fiance or a girlfriend, I wonder how he would feel if he then viewed bank statements that only she had access to. I wonder if a man, as a man, if Mr. Jeff Baker would feel okay with that. I wonder if Mr. Baker would be okay if he was married or engaged and then those arguments that you had that you thought were private were actually being recorded, and not only were they being recorded, but they were being shared with people who had then, in fact, ended up on the internet. So, when it comes to Mr. Baker and what I like to call toxic positivity, where you simply like to clap and applaud and make everybody feel warm and fuzzy, are you really doing your due diligence? Because I actually think it's socially irresponsible, especially those, hey, Brent, for those with large platforms such as Jeff T. Baker or Jeff Baker the third or whatever the name may be. I think when you make erroneous statements like that, when you're not fluent in a situation, you do the story a disservice. Now, when I covered the story, I feel like I could have handled the situation much better. And that's another reason why I decided that I'm not going to talk about it anymore because we have people like Jeff T. Baker that comes in and makes these statements without really giving it a full assessment. And I think that's exactly what he did in this particular situation. So, as a man who states that women have all done these things, I wonder how many women he's friends with that have posted his genitalia online and shared his bank statements and recorded his conversations and shared them with the world. So when it comes to Jeff T. Baker or Jeff Baker's the third statements regarding this, I think you're wrong and you were misinformed. And I also think you were misinformed when it comes to women and how we should be uplifting this woman, etc. See, that's what I like to call toxic positivity, Jeff T. Baker, Jeff Baker the third, because as a woman, even when we are in grade school, my daughter has a young boy right now that told her that she has holes in her face because of her dimples. So, as young girls, we are taught to simply ignore the boy that's being mean to us because he likes you. So, this bad behavior starts as little girls, whereas little girls, we have to learn to turn the other cheek. So, what happens is we do that in our relationships, Mr. Jeff T. Baker. Hey, Miss Judy, for the membership of 12 months. My girl. I love it. Good morning, Treasure Life. So what happens, Jeff T. Baker or Jeff Baker the third, when you make these comments and you want to talk about what women should do, you need to understand Jeff T. Baker or Jeff Baker the third. As women, we have lost relationships when it comes to our girlfriends or our sisters or whatever. When they have that man and you say, you know what, sis, this ain't it. That's a very hard choice that we have to make as women when we say, you know what, sis, enough is enough. Because what happens is, as grade school or even as young women, we are taught to simply dress it up. When your first boyfriend in high school breaks up with you, what do you do over the weekend? You go and maybe dye your hair pink or purple or whatever, something to get his attention. You go out, you buy a new outfit, and that's what we're taught as a young girls to simply dress it up. But what happens is, Mr. Jeff T. Baker or Jeff Baker the third, as women, we grow up and as mothers, we certainly have to grow up because now we have other people that are looking at us, Jeff T. Baker. So the moment that you choose to have a child, baby, you're a woman and you have to conduct yourself as a woman, especially for your offspring, Jeff T. Baker. So when it comes to women having to make the decision to say, sis, you're going about this in the wrong way, that's something that we get judged on, Jeff T. Baker, and something that you don't understand because the problem is what we've done for years, Jeff T. Baker, as women, we've had to simply dress it up. And as women, we're always taught to tell the woman, girl, you got this. We did that in high school. We did that when we were young girls. Thank you so much. Oh, Joe Baker. Thank you. Joe Baker the third, Joe T. Baker. Thank you so much. I done called that man Jeff. See how irritated I am? Hello, goodbye. So Joe Baker, Joe T. Baker. Hey, Miss Dolly. He came out, Bruce having took the tick out your best. Oh, Virgo, that makes sense. That makes sense of why he made that statement and why he's simping. So we are taught as women to simply girl, he gonna miss you, girl. Take that picture, girl. Post that picture. We've done that for years when we were young girls. But as women, Joe T. Baker, we have to hold our fellow sis accountable. And that too, contrary to belief, is also love, but it comes with ridicule. So what's sad is to know that it's still some men, Joe T. Baker, that are walking around here that simply want to coddle bad situations and bad behavior because with that, Joe T. Baker, you don't grow. So if you have a platform of positivity, I think toxic positivity is what you're embarking on when you made that statement because you knew that it was erroneous, but you also knew that it would come with views, sir. Because I want to know how many women have shown your genitalia online, how many women have shown your bank statement, and then if you can still share that same sentiment, then I, as a woman, Joe T. Baker, will stand corrected. But I think as a man, when it comes to certain situations, when it comes to women, you might just want to sit this one out, bruh, because you don't know the struggles that we endure when it comes to having to tell our fellow sis that you're behaving wrong. Because what happens is so many women rather just dance and applaud you right into a failed relationship because this is exactly what we've seen. Because let's be honest, that boy, that little man boy child with hips was never ish. He was never a prize. And he was simply a Thursday or a Friday night. In fact, he is that guy that you don't even necessarily tell somebody that you slept with. You was just hot and bothered one night in Cancun, Mexico. Hello, goodbye. So he was never the cat's meow. But what happened is, Joe T. Baker, as per you, women need to stand together and rally. So what happened in that situation? You had so many women that were rallying and lifted this deceit in this relationship and this blanket of lies of a relationship because they still have that mentality of when we were younger and how you had to tell the girl to dress up, girl, do it, girl, yeah, girl, they gonna be mad, girl. But is that helping that person grow or elevate? Because a real woman will risk her friendship, at least if she told that woman, I'm not supporting this any longer. I did that with several, and we're not friends to this day. Now, granted, they came back around when the guy might have said, got a little too handsy or, sis, you were right. But this is what we risk as women when we love our fellow sis enough to say, I'm not doing this and I'm not supporting this, but I love you. Oh, was he? I wouldn't be surprised, sis. Hey, Red, anybody I missed? Thank you, Miss Simone, so much for the super sticker. Exactly, Onyx. So, when it comes to men like you, Mr. Joe T. Baker, I understand that this might want to be your foot in the door and maybe you might be the next. If so, have at it, sir. Because that's what it's giving. Because you yourself in your own video, you pointed out that it might sound like you're simping. So there's a hope that there's still a man in there with some morals and values because you know what it sounded like and you know what you did. You wanted the attention. You wanted the likes and views. You potentially want her on your platform. But are you willing to sell your soul for it? Because right now, you're coming off as uneducated. You're coming off as prude. You're coming off as condescending. And you're coming off as someone that simply likes to engage in clickbait because you know it's going to bring you the almighty dollar, sir. That's the disservice that was done so much in this story, where there were so many people that just were concerned with the clicks and views and the popularity and the notoriety and whatever the case may be, as opposed to actually saying something with some sense, because some sense would have been, I support you, girl, but until you leave this little young man, boy with child with hips, I'll be back. That's what women do when they realize this ain't it. Because Stevie Wonder could have saw that that little man boy child with hips wasn't it. Stevie Wonder could have saw that that little man boy child with hips was never there to be a stepfather or play stepdaddy. That man was there for a wet ass and to get what he could get. And women who are healed are able to see that. I'm going to say that again, since healing was such a topic of discussion. I'm going to say that again for you, Joe T. Baker. Women who are healed are able to differentiate and navigate between the vultures that are amongst us. That's what taking time out for self is. Taking time out for self is I can now notice a narcissist because let's face it, narcissists are popular now, right? Now I'm kind of just being a jerk, but you know what I'm saying, Joe T. Baker. When you're a healed woman and a woman of substance or value, you are able to see men like you. That's why I'm able to address you as such because I see through you, Joe T. Baker, and the men like you. So ask yourself, if your genitalia and your bank statement was online, would you share that same sentiment, Joe T. Baker? Would you still simp then? Would it be funny if the woman that you love and you vowed and you told some family secrets to, what you should do with your mate, right? Because let's face it, those are our mates. These are the people that we choose to live with and be with. We smell your shit. Okay? So when you love someone, you share things with your mate. So how would it feel if your mate then exposes what you said about your sister or your brother possibly? Would it feel good then, Joe T. Baker? Would you still be rooting for the women to rally against the other women if your personal secrets that you shared in confidence about your family or whatever the case may be? How would it feel to know that the person that you laid next to and smelled their shit then betrayed you and told multiple parties this? Would it feel good, Mr. Joe T. Baker? So while I can understand and respect everybody's point of views, you will respect mine. And mine is this. I agree with you, Joe T. Baker. You were simping, and it's giving simp. And that's a major disservice to your platform. It's a major disservice to this community. And it's a major disservice to our culture when we have people that still coddle and condone bad behavior. See, I'm one of the oddballs. I'm one of the broke, busted, disgusted, and jealous women that stood up and said, wait a minute, cute girl, face card is valid. I'll give you that. But the behavior is not okay. So I will stay over here in broke, busted, and disgusted and jealousville But I know that I didn't sell my soul. I know that I wasn't doing something simply for clicks and views. I took that ridicule. I took that judgment. I took that shade. I took each insult, but my character is intact. But I wonder about yours. I hope the money's worth it. I hope the views are worth it. And I hope the toxic positivity that you are spewing is worth it. And one day, when that woman that you're dating then exposes you, I will be here to talk about it, sir. So, my booze, now that I have had a moment, thank you. I had to get that out, y'all. I had something on my mind. You know, I had something. Good morning, somebody reacts. Hey, Miss Tony. Thank you. Hey, Miss Rebecca. Hey, everybody I missed. Sorry, y'all, it wasn't in the comments. I had to get this out, y'all. I had to get it out. It has something to do with him and a woman going to jail or getting locked up together. I got to get the rest of the details, though. Yeah, let's get those deets, Pop. Let's get those deets. So I had said, good morning, my Becca Wecca. Good morning, Miss Jean. How are you doing, beautiful lady? Good morning. You changed me with your beautiful self. Thank you so much, Nita. Yes, smell farts and all. Good morning, Miss Roz, beautiful. Thank you so much, Lakia. Hey, Miss Hudson. How are you doing, beautiful lady? Thank you. I think you have a beautiful soul as well. I appreciate y'all. I do. I do. Thanks somebody for understanding. Y'all know I like to interact in my chat, but sometimes if you got to get something out, you got to get it out. I'm not here for a long time, but I am here for a good time, and I'm going to say what I got to say, what I need to say it. So listen, will some people disagree? Absolutely. I can respect that. But this is my opinion. And I think Joe T. Baker, you should be disappointed in yourself as someone with a large platform that can actually do something for the community. And you're right, women do need to stick together. And sometimes women sticking together is telling your fellow sis when she's wrong. So, on that note, my chatters, I love y'all. For those catching the replay, if you find value in it, hit the like button. If not, that's fine too. Y'all be careful out here. You know what I'm saying? Be careful out here and watch who you listening to, because some of these people out here ain't right. So I'm gonna stay left. You know what I mean? I love y'all. Have an amazing morning. Talk to you later.